Good morning. My name is LeeAnne, and if you're joining us today, you are joining us for our weekly um, brief demo. And today we're focusing on steel-related contractors. So if your business is steel, hang tight. We're going to get to some projects. Now, this demo is based primarily on South Jersey, Eastern PA, and Delaware area. If you're someone from New York, whatever, you're going to get the general gist of how the service works. But for any of you watching this today, if you'd like to do a one-on-one with me to really zero in on your company and finding projects that are a good fit for you guys, please reach out. You probably received about 25 emails from me at this point. You can easily give me a call or respond to an email and we can schedule a demo. Okay, so today, again, it's just a brief overview of CIS. If you've ever wondered, hey, what's the local project lead service about? This is what it is. So CIS, we are a local project lead service based in New Jersey for the last 32 years, started by a civil engineer. He's our CEO. His daughter, Chris, is our president. His son has been in construction his entire life and kind of started this company really out of his own frustration, missing projects, not knowing, like driving down the road, seeing a site cleared and having no idea what the project work was happening out in the world, and did not have enough time for bids, writing in the car, missing mandatory pre-bids, not having bid results. Those were some of the pains of why he started this company 32 years ago. So what I'm going to do, walk us through, just wanted to give you some foundation. And now I'm going to kind of walk you through the homepage and we'll dig into some of the projects. So my desktop is your home screen on our website. No matter where you go on any page, you can quickly get back to your desktop because all these buttons over here will stay static. So on the desktop screen, under the daily feed, there's 3 reports we kind of start everyone with. This custom report section down here is reports that I kind of, just for time purposes, because I really am trying to stick to that 20 minutes. These are some customized reports by keyword and category and things like that. This section over here is a quick search. Think of this as Google on our website. You're trying to find one thing quickly, and you can narrow down by the region. And this, by the way, is all the territory we cover as a company, which I forgot to mention. So we only do 2 states, New Jersey and Delaware. We do the 5 surrounding Philadelphia counties in Pennsylvania. And then we cover New York City, the 5 boroughs, Long Island, and Southern New York State makes up Rockland, Orange, and Westchester counties. So that is our full footprint of our information. And the cool thing about CIS is because we're local, we can have not only inside reporters checking websites and major papers and making calls and doing all that stuff. The outside reporters are really the key, where we can attend bid openings, we can pick up projects in local papers that they hide, comb through planning and zoning board meeting minutes to make sure we know all the private work. So that's kind of our secret weapon, is the outside reporters. So in getting back to this section, you can narrow down a territory if you're trying to find something on the search bar. And if you hover over the icons, it'll tell you what it is. This is looking for a project by the title, general contractor, a sub. So if you need to find sub suppliers, this is also a good help for you because we launched this construction directory about 8 years ago. So if you need a sub supplier, you can certainly look for that. Again, GC subs, material suppliers, equipment dealers, professional services, architects, engineers, accounting, insurance, things like that. And then owners. So the owner could be a private owner, or it could be a public owner as well, like the township of Evesham, or it could be Wawa Dairies or Bob's Liquor Store. It doesn't matter. I'll kind of show you this as we get through. And then this is what I call your tracking buckets, where you can track contractors, you can track projects, which will be very, very important as we go through. So I'm going to start us off with our daily email. So this is 1 day's worth of information. We change our information every day. Brand new projects, updates, previous day's bid results. Now I'm going to change this because I have us looking at just building trades, and we also want to look at utilities and road and bridge trades. So I'm going to change that really quickly. And again, bringing us back to our daily report. So we're looking at Wednesday's information under these categories of work. So this is just anything new that happened from yesterday, and we reported it today. So pre-planning, planning, and negotiated, those 3 outer tabs are devoted primarily to private-owned projects versus out to bid, and bid results are going to be primarily public-owned projects. And you'll see that status right here. So pre-planning and planning, both of these are the earliest stages of construction. Neither pre-planning or planning have a general contractor awarded. GCs are looking at it in these phases. So pre-planning is the earliest. Conceptual, sketch plan, zoning, fundraising, super early stuff. These are all, this one up here is flagged as brand new versus these are updates on existing projects. So if I were to look at this, we'll look at the brand new one that just came out. So our published dates are up here. So this one was just published today. You can see the location is in Bluebell Pike in Bluebell. There's an attorney listed, an owner, design firm. Typical work that's included. This is brand new construction. So it's any commercial building that's 5,000 square foot and greater, and residential 10 dwelling units or more. It's what we capture from our private work. Now, I always say go to the description to find out if this is something you even care about. It's this 2-story apartment building, some other information on here. So if you like what it says, you want to move on to the notes. So it looks like this is going to be reviewed by White Plains Board of Supervisors on 10/17 in about a week. There was a hearing back in September. You can kind of go back and see a little information that's happened on here. So if this is something interesting to you, you can track the job. You can also add it yourself as interested. I'm just using a kind of fake LeeAnne construction company for purposes of today, but it would be a link through to your company. So people can see your information and you can put all your information in there. Okay, so that's pre-planning. Planning is the final approval before the planning board. Again, no GC is awarded. If we were to look at this one in Harrison, we can see Russo Development Warehouses. Russo Developers is the developer on here, the location where it's going, and you can kind of look through to get some information about the project and all the information that's going on here with a bunch of park spaces and other things. And it looks like a homeowner association filed an appeal arguing, so this is probably going to be out there for a little while. Town folk are a little upset when you see judges and things like that. Might be held off a little bit. So this has been out there since 10/22. And that's the reason, because of all the litigation that's gone on in here. And you can see, again, all the people who are adding themselves as interested. And again, when it clicks through, this is kind of goes through the company's profile page and you can see information about that. So everyone has a free profile page in here. You can have one if you don't already. Then negotiated is a private bid result, meaning a GC has been awarded, but it's in any phase of construction. So you can click on it. So if we look at this one in Philadelphia, for example, I can see it's a $43 million cost estimate for apartments and commercial properties. You have an attorney listed, owner, developer. The contractor is Pelco Builders. So now, like I mentioned, the GC is awarded, but it can be in any phase of construction. So this one's ongoing, it looks like. So vertical construction is underway as of yesterday. Kind of gives you the history of when it started. So it's nice. You can kind of read back in time and see what's happened on this project. There was an original plan and now there is a new plan on here. So you can see the new plan and what's going to take place. And again, people are adding themselves as interested. So that is that section. And again, this is one that was, I believe, in progress. And then out to bid, these are the brand new public jobs that just came out for bid. They were listed in a paper or online. So you can kind of scroll through and see some of the new jobs that just came out for bid today. And it'll kind of scroll down to where it says, these are all new. And then you would stop here at updates because these are projects that have already been out for bid. So on here, we may have fencing contractors on here as well. So we'll click on this one. So this is how public projects look when they first come out to bid. So bid date is up here again. I'm sorry, the published date is up here. This is the bid date and time at the top. It's location, owner, document information. Now, if there's a pre-bid meeting and it's mandatory, it's going to be bolded to let you know, hey, on the 26th, there's a mandatory pre-bid. It's a single G contract for fencing and ramp. And so this is very typical of how they look on the first day, exactly how it was posted in a paper or online. So people have time to bid it. So if this is a good one, track it, throw it in your track bucket we talked about on the homepage, and also add yourself as interested. Now, when it changes to updates, these are projects that have already been out for bid. Some things changed. Could be one guy's picked up a set of plans, could be a cost estimate was released, could be a bunch of different things. So if I click on this one, I can kind of go and see how it looks when projects are updated on this section. Actually, let's take a look at this one. I know this has nothing really to do with you guys, but this is to give you an example how they look updated. So you'll see a bigger description now. This is multiple primes on here. You can see everything happening on the description here. And then you'll see a list of people who are picking up plans who intend to bid on this project, which is a lot of people. So that's how they look at the updated stage. And then the last tab on the daily report is the previous day's bid results. This is where I put my money where my mouth is and say we have next day bid results. So you can kind of scroll through here and see every one of these jobs bid yesterday, and we have the results today. Low bidder's name is here, their price is over here on each one of these projects. If you are like this one, Penn Builders was low on this school facade renovation. So if we click on it, we can see the bids this bid yesterday at 2 o'clock. We have everyone's numbers. There was some alternates on here, but you can see how the bid broke down and the numbers that happened as of yesterday. Now, if you bid, and there's a lot of alternates on here too. So if you bid to Penn Builders and they're a client of yours, you can click through. Anytime it lands orange, when you put your cursor on it, you can click through. So I can click on here and I can hit the track button if I want to track this company. While I'm in here, I have some contact names. I can see, are they holding any other plans right now? I can see that they're holding this set of plans to bid, and then I can click through if I want to look at it. Now this is going to hold a 3-year public bidding history. So they've been low on 18 projects over the last 3 years. Not only this one from yesterday, but there was one last month as well. Now other bids are projects that they bid, but they were not the low bidder, but they bid them. So if we add the 18 number to the 40 number, so they're 18 out of 58 is their bidding ratio. So you can see how effective people are bidding. And if you're like, hey, I bid this municipal project, if they didn't get it, who got it? And then you can see that SB Conrad was the low bidder. You can kind of look through. So that's that section. And then negotiated is any private work they just recently completed or involved with. So that is 1 day's worth of information on our daily report. Now, if you miss a day or you're out sick, you can click this to see what you've missed. Index report is your filing cabinet where all the public work is kept. And then what I did is made a customized report, which I'm going to go to next. So there's 2 different reports I made. There's thousands of private jobs out there. What I did is went back in the last 30 days of projects that have moved. So it's just 1 month's worth of work. And you can see what's in pre-planning. There's 58 projects. Planning has 130 projects, and negotiated has 129 projects. That's just in 1 month. There's a lot of private work happening. Depends on, when you want to go after it. Some have target dates when they want to break ground. These have no target dates to start. There's some cost estimates on there. Some have in progress, some are completed. Some are slated for the 2nd quarter next year. So you can kind of see some of the projects and where they're going. Same thing with pre-planning. I only have 20 minutes. It's hard to kind of click on a lot of stuff, but you can see there's senior residence in Bluebell. There's warehouses in Essington. Fairless Hills has some apartments. ShopRite in Freehold. Lacey Municipal Complex. You can kind of go through. Mount Laurel, or Mount Ephraim rather, it has a Lidl grocery store. Paulsboro is training facilities. So the nice thing is you'll never drive by and be like, what are they building here? What is going on over here? You would have seen it way in advance in this pre-planning, planning stages before there's even any ground being broken. And again, you can kind of click through these and see some more information. Warehouses are always very popular and happening all the time. As you can see, we're going through, there's plenty of them. So just kind of scanning through so you can see some of the projects out there. If you want to look a little deeper, you can click on it and kind of go through the details of the project and see what's going on and who the players are and where it's actually being developed. Now, come back here. So that's the pre-planning, pre-planning, planning, and negotiated for all the private work within the last month. I have about, I think about 3 or 4 minutes left. So I'm going to now do a public report. So what I did on the public report, I did a bunch of keywords that have to do with fencing. and metal and iron work. So you can kind of see some of the words that are populated over here. And you can pick your own keywords to kind of pull out of jobs that would be in the title or the description of a job you would do. I'm looking in the out to bid section. You can look for roads, utilities, specialty rehab. If you only do building trades, if you only do road trades, you can pick those. You can even pick projects that have set aside money if you have a certification. And so I'm just going to look going back, and all I did was going back everything out to bid currently and bid results in the past 90 days, just so you have an idea of what this report was I pre-created. So there's 181 projects out to bid currently. And this is looking at roads, utilities, bridges, the whole gamut. So if I want to even get rid of that for a minute and just look at roads and, I'm sorry, building trades only, we'll say, for this purposes of right now. And I'll put 100 on a page. So what I can do is kind of go to the very, very bottom of this report and work your way backwards. This is kind of where you would start. So there's Indian Springs Driving Range Clubhouse. You can see this was published. It went out to bid on 9/25. It's bidding 11/28 at 10 o'clock. You can see owner information, pre-bid meeting, requirements, and it'll highlight your words in here too, which is nice. So you can kind of see what part of your work has your words in here. Now the owner isn't releasing plan holders, but our clients will add themselves on here. There's a little button at the top that they can add themselves as a plan holder. And you can kind of scroll through each one of these. There's this is the one we looked at earlier, actually, on the daily report. And we can kind of go through. There's a Justice County complex in Toms River, and scroll through here as well and see this. It'll highlight your words in the description, so you can kind of see all the metal and steel that's happening on this project and see if this could be a good one for you to get involved in as well. And again, for those of you looking at it going, oh God, there's a lot of metal. What the heck is this project? I'll go back over it. It's the Ocean County complex. But you can see, even though the owner isn't releasing plan holders, a lot of the big GCs have picked up plans already and are intending to bid on this project. And again, for those who are wondering, Ocean County Justice Complex is what that was. So if I want to track it, I'm going to throw it in my track bucket. And I can see Glassboro has something, Salem has a floor fit out. One of your words are populating in here. Collingswood Department of Public Works. You can kind of come in here and take a look at what they have going on as well, and see it's a steel masonry frame structure and some information down here as well. So that is that section. And then you can also, as I'm scrolling back up, you want to see the most recent bid results over the past 90 days to see who got what projects. Maybe you're waiting to hear, you bid some sub and you're waiting to find out who got what. You can kind of look through and see that, WJ Gross was low on this virtual reality lab yesterday. There's some metal frames on here as well. And you can see what the bid was, that they had a really good bid. That's a very close number. So that is the customized reports that I kind of created. Now, again, when I was going through this, if you want to find something really quickly, you can come in here and just say, you know what, maybe there's a project in South Jersey I want to find, and it has the word pine in it. So I'm just going to pull any project that has pine over the past 3 years. And say I'm looking for this one, I'm just going to type Pinehurst, and it's going to drive it to the top, just like when you're searching on Google, but it's searching for the projects. Same thing again with GCs and subs. You can also type in, so if you're like, hey, I need a fencing contractor in South Jersey. So you can search for company names like we did, or you can search for a contractor or category of work rather. So if I want to find a sub for fencing contractors in South Jersey, I can see there's 154 companies that will do fencing. NINSA is doing advertising on the top. They're basically saying, hey, call me. So call them. And then if you don't want to use NINSA, or you want to look up through other people, you can also filter by categories of work, years in business, bonded, union, non-union, and a bunch of different ways to try and narrow your search down. So instead of looking at 100, you might be looking at like 10 or 5 or 2 that are exactly who you want, depending on how specific you are. And there is advertising opportunities on our website too. Your category of work can sponsor, which is, when anyone's looking for a sub, most people call the guy on top. Or you can sponsor on the side of the page. These are seen on every searchable page. So that's another option. So we have some really good options for advertising. And even though everybody's like, oh, I don't advertise, this is different. You're putting your company in front of actively bidding companies who need you. So it's kind of a win-win. And then last but not least, or second to last, tracking contractors, tracking projects. So I'm tracking some companies. It's letting me know they picked up plans, placed a bid. So this is where you really want to keep, these will be really important. Because you want to, if you're bidding sub to somebody, you want to know what they got, when they're getting it, what their plans they're holding. You need to know all that information as quick as possible. And then you can click on the company and you can track companies from here. You again see what plans are they holding right now. So I can see their Ernest Bach and Sons is holding a job in Bridgeton, Philadelphia, and Shrewsbury. Which jobs I can click through to kind of get more information, see other GCs holding the plans, all that kind of stuff. And then the same thing with projects, I'm tracking jobs that I like. So when there's an updated bid result or a planning update, you'll be able to see it. It'll rise to the top and it'll tell you. You can put notes in here to keep yourself organized. But it's a really great piece of information. If there's an addendum, one person picks up plans, anything will cause it to update. So that will be really important to look at. Last thing we started doing about a month ago, real-time project information, and we're posting on the site. So as the day's going through and something bid at 10 o'clock, it's now maybe after 12, and you're like, oh, I wonder what happened on that job. You can click on it and see any updates of things happening, any bid results from the previous day. So no, this is a scrolling section you can look out throughout the day if you need to find information very quickly. And last but not least, we do have a contact CIS on every project on our site as well. There is a contact CIS button. We have ridiculously good customer service. So if you need help on a project, you need additional information, you need help with training, with anything, we are here to support you 100%. We don't sell you and run. We stay and help you as best we can. So I know I might have gone over a couple minutes, but I wanted to give you a general idea of what we do here at CIS. Again, this is kind of a broad stroke. So feel free to reach out to me to do a one-on-one to really cater things to your company and look at specific jobs to see if this makes sense for your company. Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me, and I hope everyone has a great Wednesday. Take care.